This is Sparta!
Mr. President, you gotta come with me now.
Okay, well, let me wipe first.
Sir, you'll be attacked by terrorists.
Hey.
Mr. President, just wait here. I'm going to take care of the threat.
The angel has fallen.
I didn't know where this movie was trying to go. I didn't know what this movie was trying to do. I didn't know what the movie was trying to be. I was trying to figure out if this movie was trying to be an action film or was it trying to be a comedy. So Angel Has Fallen revolves around Mike Bannon. He's being framed or he is being arrested for attempted murder against the President of the United States, who's being played by Morgan Freeman. So they arrest Mike Bannon, and Mike Bannon has to figure out a way to clear his name while dealing with the terrorist who's trying to kill him and the President of the United States. And we have the movie Angel Has Fallen. Okay. To me, Jared Butler, I feel like he was the only person who actually put effort into their performance. I feel like Jared Butler committed into the role. He put a lot into it. Because there's lots of times in this movie where I feel like he was a good character to gravitate towards. Especially in the first movie. But in the second movie, I had a hard time gravitating towards him because of the writing with his character. In this movie, I had a harder time gravitating with his character because the writing in this movie was shit. And I just trying to figure out how every movie got worse. Morgan Freeman was good in this movie. Well, of course he is. He's Morgan Freeman. It's not really saying much. Well, I think I said everything. The movie was very predictable when it came to the villain. Like, I automatically knew who the bad guys were because the actors were so obvious with it, with their looks. It was just, once you see their faces, you automatically be like, that's the bad guy, instantly. And that happened like literally in the first 10 minutes of the movie because there are some very poor writing decisions to the core. In the background, you can tell it was a green screen, and also you can tell that they were just in a room, not really at the real set location. And also the screen was very glossy, and there's so much more, man. There is so much more. And then you got the action sequences that was so horrid. Like, the director tried to utilize shaky cam, but he was shaking the camera that was out of frame, so you couldn't really see the action sequences. And the action sequences was so bad that I couldn't see what was happening, so I had to use my ears. Who's getting punched and who's getting kicked? There was so much shit on screen that I just was like, what is going on? And there was a weird transitional switch of a directional style where the camera would try to viscerally transition to character, and it did it for one moment in the movie, but it didn't do it nowhere else. And I'm just like, that's just a weird switch, and it just reminded me of Mile 22. Did I mention that the overabundance of CGI in most of the scenes, even the buildings and skyscrapers, were complete CGI? And I'm just like, why are you having so much CGI? And the weird thing about it, that the explosions didn't really have much CGI, but yet you have the buildings that you are living in, and you can't afford or to have a real house to be on real location to be in your movie. No, you want to replace the house with CGI. I understand that, okay? And the other thing about this movie is the villains. So, like I said, you can tell you know who the villains were once you see their faces. They played villains in other movies. So once you see that these villains, they don't really have a clear path or a clear motive. Like there is a personal connection with one of the villains in this movie that Mike Banner has, and there wasn't a personal connection that I felt like gave him a clear reason why he shouldn't even mess with this character. I feel like he was just put in the movie just to say we had a movie. I think I'm getting sick right now because sequelitis is starting to develop in my body and soul. Then there is some weird character choices. They decide to introduce the father that in this movie. That the father never was referenced or never even was talked or even mentioned in none of the other movies, but yet you brought him in this movie to give them a father and son bond. That's cool, but that choice took away the tone of the movie, and then it gave the movie a new tone. Humor. And also, this movie does not make a lick of sense, but you know, you're supposed to remove all the logic. I can tell that this movie does not make a lick of sense because there's supposed to be Air Force. If things, happen, if things happen the way they do, Air Force was never around. I can't believe that they had to drag Jada Pinkett Smith in this movie as well, and her character was very pointless in this whole entire movie. Like, literally, she was in every single scene just making the same facial expression, and they pretty much only had her character in this movie just to say, we're doing this investigation. We're doing this investigation on Mike Bennett. Yeah. And most of the investigation happened off screen. On an aesthetic level, it's shit. But the performances was good. Performances did a decent job. It's just the technical work, the directing, the writing, the producing. It was all shit. It's like putting shit and stuffing that shit as your cream pie. I'm going to give Angel Has Fallen bat nipples. Like, it's gotten to a point, this movie is now the Taken series. Like, the first movie, Olympus Has Fallen, was great, fantastic. Taken was great, fantastic. Taken 2 was like, okay. It's not a good movie, but I appreciate it to a merit. Same feeling with London Has Fallen. And then with Taken 3, all hell broke loose. And then for this movie, yes, this movie is literally the next Taken franchise. And I'm very disappointed. Guys, have you seen Angel Has Fallen? What are your thoughts? Comment below and let's talk about it. And I'll see you guys in the next review. And if you like everything you see and you agree, subscribe to my channel and join me in the Batman family. I'll have more Batman-tastic reviews in the way. You have been warned. Till then, ciao.